All right, Chris, I'm ready, whatever. Good morning, York. Welcome to Give Local York 2021. We are 8 hours in with over $300,000 raised for 264 organizations in York County. And we have a clapping sound effect, new for 2021. We want to thank you guys so much. I did get some sleep. If you were watching, I did do the midnight stream, and then I got some shut-eye. But the Give Local York team was active all night. And as you can see, over 1,000 donors were also active with their generosity for 264 organizations in York County. Before we get started with today's show, I do want to hop right in and thank some of our sponsors, including the White Rose Leadership Institute. Without the White Rose Leadership Institute, Give Local York would not be possible. Our presenting sponsor this year is Giant Foods. Legacy partners include Fox 43, the Pulo Family Fund, PeoplesBank. We're right here at sunny, unexpectedly sunny PeoplesBank Park. Arthur J. and Lee R. Gladfelder Foundation, Cultural Alliance, Hammer Creek Enterprises, Powder Mill Foundation, York County Community Foundation. Stretch pool sponsors include the Wareheim Foundation, UPMC, Memorial Health Fund, York County Community Foundation, Kinsley, PNC Bank, Stewart Companies, our live stream sponsor, which you are watching right now, Traditions Bank. You can see right below me the brand new fancy Traditions Bank logo, looking great. And then, most importantly, for our 7 a.m. hour, our Healthy Step Ahead sponsor is WellSpan Health. And joining me from WellSpan Health is Vicki. Vicki, good morning.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Vicki Diamond, and I'm the Senior Vice President of the Central Region, and I serve as President of WellSpan York Hospital. We could not be more excited to be the sponsor here this morning and to join you in such an exciting undertaking. This is so important to us, and it's such an honor and a privilege to be here this morning because we share in really lifting up the community, and what a wonderful way to do that with partnering with Give Local York. So thank you for having us this morning.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much. Not only today is WellSpan an organization that we really want to put out in front as being a wonderful supporter of this event, but over the last year, WellSpan has obviously been critical in supporting our community. Can you talk a little bit about not just the impact that COVID-19 had in our community, but WellSpan's role in supporting that, responding to the pandemic, and now as we've entered full into vaccine mode, what that looks like for WellSpan Health?
Sure. No one could have imagined a year like this, none of us. And so it was really an extraordinary year for us in so many ways. But again, as a trusted member of this community, we knew we had to step up in this community and all of the communities that we serve. And we did that in any way we possibly could, from being available for consultations, for questions that people had as we were trying to understand this pandemic, as well as supporting many organizations that had needs or were challenged. So we continue to do that, we continue to learn, and we continue to reach out. Now our efforts are really focused on the vaccine, and we are really proud that we've already distributed over 300,000 vaccines within the communities that we serve, because that's so important, because that's how we get back to our lives and to being with one another, which is so important. We are just proud to be able to offer those kinds of services. We've now moved to direct walk-in appointments. So that's something, again, we're trying to remove any and all barriers to getting vaccine and making it easy for folks. So we're open 7 days a week. We are in 8 of our medical practices. We are in the old AC Moore building in downtown, in York community. So we've tried, to really just be available for and convenient for anywhere the public needs to get a vaccine. So we encourage people to do that, because that's the way we all get back to our normal lives. So
Yeah, and absolutely. I think that the support and the resources that WellSpan has provided to our community in this pandemic cannot be overstated. So, I thank you. I have a unique perspective. I actually work, my full-time job is for the city of York. So I appreciate all the support that WellSpan has given to our Bureau of Health, to our residents and our community. And I know that the effects of that and your support will be felt for many years to come. And I think that not only has COVID-19 changed our health system, but it has changed the way that our community interacts with each other. And in addition to WellSpan directly serving our residents, as you said, you've supported organizations that are also doing that. Can you talk a little bit about outside of, everybody sees York Hospital, everybody sees the offices, but you've got the vaccine center set up on 30. You are threaded throughout this community, and COVID-19 has really highlighted that.
Yes, no, what a great question. Thank you for asking that. What I would say as well is that we've, as you pointed out, partnered in many different ways. I mean, we also recognize that we have to be out in the community, and we've done that, whether it's doing vaccines at the York College or Gettysburg College, or we have a mobile vaccine distribution setup where we go into people's homes who can't leave their homes to give them the vaccine. We've partnered with Family First Health Center, in downtown York. So again, just understanding where the needs are in our community and reaching out to make sure we're able to support that. And isn't that what Give Local York is all about? It's really partnering in ways with one another because it's our community, and together we can lift each other up and really support the entire community.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's only 7:14, but I feel like Vicky's kind of wrapped it up for the day. That really is what it's all about. So I do want to pivot, and I don't know if Chris tried this, but our first nonprofit organization, Vicky, is another group that has really stood up and supported York in a time of unprecedented need. So today, joining us, we have Joe Arthur from the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. And Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Good morning.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being up early and joining us. So, Joe, let's take a step back, take a nice deep breath. Can you talk to us about 2020 going into 2021, Central Pennsylvania Food Bank? The response that you guys have had in our community has been unprecedented. Talk a little bit about what the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank has done over the last year to support our community, and why Give Local York is so important to you.
Well, as much as I don't want to step back into 2020, we'll do it for a minute. It was incredible, and I mean that in a positive way, too. I don't know if you have a drum roll audio, but
he does have a drum roll audio.
You might need that in a moment. There we go. With our partners in York County, we distributed 12 million pounds of food just in York County during the pandemic, and the headline number is that's enough for 10 million healthy meals. That is incredible. Love the sound effects. So we wouldn't be able to do that without our York partners. And even WellSpan Health is a partner of ours around food as medicine. And while that certainly can be attributed to the level of need, which was national, not just in York County, nationally all through Pennsylvania, the effectiveness of our partners in York County, almost 100 of them that we work with, are really responsible for that level of service. So just as Vicki was explaining, we all had to adjust. In fact, for over a year, we've been packing at the Farm Show complex in the giant expo hall, of all places, because we needed the space. And that actually continues today. So it gives you an idea of what adjustments we've had to make, doing the whole COVID-19 protocol as we're all been doing. But right now we're working on the recovery, right? So we're coming out of the crisis response mode, which is just, have your head down and work. And now we're gearing up for the recovery, where people still need help, but we've got to work on building more resilience, and helping our communities in that way. And in fact, we've been even working as a connector in the vaccination process, because we agree with Vicki. That's how we get back to where we want to be, right? We don't all want to be wearing masks forever. So just some ways that we're working even beyond food.
Well, we appreciate that. So I just looked at your page. It looks like you've got a $20,000 goal for Give Local York 2021. $25 level helps provide 150 meals to neighbors who need a helping hand. The $50 level helps provide 300 meals to neighbors who need a helping hand. Can you talk a little bit, Joe, about the impact? Because people might see $25, 150 meals, but these are families that probably now more than ever are in desperate need of this support.
And there is the impact. 150 meals for $25 is going to go a long way for a family. And that's the most important thing. All of the big numbers I cited, they're great to talk about as a headline, but for the family that's in need, who still isn't back to full time, or their job hasn't opened back up, whatever their situation is, whether they're a veteran, whether they're a child, 150 healthy meals is a big deal. So we just encourage folks. I see the board on my screen. I see the numbers going up rapidly. That's wonderful. I'm just encouraging all the York givers to let's beat last year, which was extraordinary. Let's beat last year. Let's help all of the organizations. I think we're up to like 270 organizations now on my screen. We do need your help. And I can tell by the numbers, it looks like folks are responding.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, we truly appreciate your time this morning. Chris, did I just drop out?
Thank you so much.
Yes, you did. Hold on 1 second. Take it away, Vicki.
I was just thinking I could do that.
Go ahead. You're in charge now.
We are experiencing technical difficulty. The good news is the board is still going with donations.
It's true. We're up to how much? What's our count, Chris?
We are at 300. There you are.
Hey, I'm back.
And you're muted still.
Can you hear me?
Did you just leave again?
Yeah. There we go. Joe, really appreciate it. Sorry about the delay there. You're free. Go do some great fundraising.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Good job.
All right. So, Vicki, at this point, we are going to have some very special guests from WellSpan join us, Matt Lane and Jeff Lobach. So, Vicki, as they're getting set, can you, we heard what Joe was saying about the impact in the community. What does that mean to WellSpan to hear a partner organization like Central Pennsylvania Food Bank talk about WellSpan's impact? You know, they've delivered millions and millions of pounds of food over the last year. You guys are in the process of vaccines. Side by side, that's the only way we get through this, right?
Oh, that's absolutely true. And, it was so good to hear that, because we've done a lot of things together, because we recognize that's how we get through this, is together. So one of the things we did pretty early on through this whole pandemic was to identify areas where we could help slow the spread. And we actually deployed grants to many of these organizations to say, well, what is it that you do need? And some of it was food and just other things, or housing insecurity. And again, that's how we keep the entire community healthy and together, because that's so important. So it was wonderful to hear, Joe talk about, what they've done through this pandemic, because there was so much need. And I'm so pleased that together we continue to all try to meet that need.
Excellent. Well, Matt and Jeff, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you so
I
much.
believe you're here to talk about the York Cancer Center, correct?
Absolutely.
All right.
So just to introduce myself, my name is Matt Lane. I'm the Executive Director of the WellSpan York Health Foundation. Our foundation helps to raise philanthropic resources for all of WellSpan's services and patients and initiatives in York County. This is Jeff Lobach. Jeff is managing partner of Barley Snyder. He's our immediate past chair of our York Health Foundation board, and Jeff served as co-chair of our recent WellSpan York Cancer Center capital campaign.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. About 2 years ago, the volunteer committee of the York Health Foundation's board of directors came together around an initiative to transform cancer care in York County and decided on a dedicated campaign to support a new cancer center and to raise $5 million. The need is tremendous. Cancer touches all of us. We all know someone who either is a victim or maybe we are ourselves victims of this scourge, and it's not going away. In fact, more than 2,000 newly diagnosed cancer cases are identified in York County every year, and the number's growing. Investing in a facility like that requires an entire community approach, and we, as Vicki said about the pandemic, we need to do it by working together. And once again, Yorkers showed their benevolence and came together for this project like we are today and supported it. What it was all about was a 67,000 square foot facility that is being constructed, is completed actually now at Apple Hill. And the purpose of this was to bring together all the cancer services that WellSpan has throughout the community. So the concept was co-location, so that all of the clinical services and other supportive services could be brought together in one place. And we're talking the full spectrum of services, all the way from cancer prevention to survivorship. There will be a new wellness center for holistic services and treatments like meditation. There will be space for families and counseling and for spiritual needs. And we, of course, are collaborating with the Johns Hopkins Kimmel Cancer Center for specialty cases, for clinical trials, research, innovation, and clinical partnerships. There will be private and semi-private areas for infusion, which is a treatment that's growing in its use. And the entire center is really patient-centered. It's not about the doctors and the caregivers, but it's about the patients and their families. And that's one of the advantages to having, in a community like ours, a locally governed health system where the ultimate decisions are made by our friends and neighbors who are looking out for the community and really care about nothing else but the health care of the community. So Matt, it was a tremendous success, and you can tell us about how it worked out for us.
Absolutely. Well, like Jeff said, I think it's really exciting to be able to celebrate the success of our campaign the same day we're celebrating the success of our Give Day here in York, because it's really about the generosity of the community. It's about the care of our friends and neighbors and supporting our organizations and the people that live in our community. And that was no different with our Cancer Center campaign. We had donors from all ends of the county. We had donors from businesses, from local organizations, from local foundations. We had grateful patients come forward and request to support the campaign with willingness to tribute their caregivers. And it really was an inspiring project for all of us, including our capital campaign committee. I can tell you that the project itself raised $5.7 million for the new cancer center, which was a vital need. And also the project resulted in more than 1,000 donors We had 300 new donors to the project. We had more than 300 donors from our internal community at WellSpan, our employees, our leadership, our physicians, and our nurses, and that was wonderful to see. And we have 41 named sponsors within the center that will have their names on rooms and associated with rooms within the new cancer center, that just to really show our patients and our caregivers how much they support and believe in the work that WellSpan does in oncology, and that's really inspiring, and I think that's going to make a real difference in the new center. I wanted to share also that as part of our campaign, we partnered with Capital Blue Cross on a really exciting project, which is a new Cancer Control and Prevention Fund. And that Cancer Control and Prevention Fund is aimed at helping with patient screenings, community outreach, clinical education, and even to support some of the services in our new wellness center. And so while we did raise a lot of dollars for the project itself, for construction costs, we also have a variety of programmatic needs, and our donors came forward to help meet those needs as well. And that includes our Cancer Patient Help Fund, which is a fairly well-known opportunity within our community that many of our residents support, that actually helps our patients with costs associated with a long treatment. And that might mean transportation, that might mean utility help, and that's a really important way that we can help our patients and support our patients.
But I think it's excellent, and congratulations, and really it's a congratulations to York now that we have this excellent resource here. I think what I heard that really stands out to me, and I think is, Vicki, representative of WellSpan as a whole, cancer care doesn't start with that meeting with your doctor. There is comprehensive care and comprehensive services that are provided at the York Cancer Center, but provided throughout WellSpan. That mental health is important, comprehensive health care is important. It's not just about those hospital visits.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I did take my mask off because I remembered all of my colleagues are vaccinated, and we can do that now. So another plug for, if you haven't gotten the vaccine, please, we're certainly continuing to make that available. But you're absolutely correct. It doesn't start with that visit, that first visit in your physician's office. And in fact, one of the things for us to really just remind our entire community so that we do stay healthy is that many people during the pandemic delayed care. Just routine screenings, routine visits to your physician or reaching out in some way. And we are really encouraging people to come back so that you don't delay any of that care, so we can get you sooner, intervene sooner, and help you get back to being healthy and a contributing member of the community. So important. One of the things that also happened on our Apple Hill campus, this is an exciting week for York. You are so right. And that was the opening of our Heart and Vascular Center. That center is a 2-story, $33 million facility. It is incredible, absolutely incredible, dedicated to really keeping people heart healthy, and in doing so has partnered with Jamar Farms, a local, farm stand and family of York. And together we are, actually showcasing many of their foods grown on the farms in our cafe, as well as part of our cooking demonstration, because we know that helps to keep people healthy as well. So to really speak to, between the Cancer Center, the Heart and Vascular Center, we're really focused on keeping the entire community very, very healthy.
Well, Matt, Jeff, certainly appreciate the time that you have given us today. If people want to get more information on the Cancer Center and on this excellent project, where can they go? Where can they find more information?
Well, if they'd like to learn more about the WellSpan York Cancer Center project, you can go on our website, wellspan.org. Also, you can reach out to members of our team at the WellSpan York Health Foundation. We're located over at 2500 South George Street, and you're welcome to reach out and learn more, and we'd love to talk with you about all the exciting things that our donors are doing to help change the landscape of healthcare in York County.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much. Vicky, we are going to bring in our next nonprofit guest as we near $400,000 raised. We're currently at $387,391, 1,400 donors, over 2,000 gifts to 275 organizations. One of those organizations is the Center for Independent Living Opportunities. And today we have Hillary Hassan. Sorry, Hillary, I should have asked you that before you got on.
All good. It's Hassan.
Hassan, I was wrong. I was just wrong completely. Well, thank you for joining us today. Did you get some sleep last night?
A little bit. I stayed up with Megan at the 2 a.m. time, and then I did get a little bit of sleep. So
excellent. So for those that may not be familiar with the Center for Independent Living Opportunities, give them the pitch.
Great. Thank you. Well, again, it's so great to be here. This is our third year participating. Each year we get a little bit more activity, and it's great. We are a very small nonprofit. There's 4 of us. We serve individuals with disabilities of all ages. And our main goals is to keep them independent in their own homes safely and achieving their goals of be it employment, be it staying at home with caregivers and loved ones, students with disabilities through the school system. It ranges from all things. So as you can imagine, definitely affected during the pandemic and these times of restrictions.
Yeah, and if you could talk a little bit about that, what unique challenges does an organization like yours face in this pandemic?
Well, I would say first and foremost for our students with disabilities, that came rapidly quick. You know, all of a sudden the schools shut down, went virtual. So we had a lot of parents that we worked with, a lot of school districts to try to help still maintain their students with disabilities and making sure that they were understanding technology and still got the services that they needed. So they were still learning. And then from there, it went to our population that we serve of individuals who live in their own homes and have caregivers come over and get them out of bed in the morning, get them dressed. Obviously, there was some halt on those services because of companies not wanting to send their caregivers in, not quite understanding, the virus when it first impacted us, what it meant. Obviously, we're serving a vulnerable population. And then to the older population, we had families who reached out to us because maybe their mom and dad had just went in for surgery and was just doing a small rehab stint. And then they got stuck, rather, for lack of better terms, in the rehab facility, not being able to come out because of restrictions. So there was a lot going on as far as trying to coordinate services, interact with families, helping them understand the different pieces to making sure their loved ones were served and served safely. Impacting to us directly as an organization, we had a lot of our grants be put on hold because a lot of our stuff is done in person. And that's how we are funded. And without being able to be in person with our individuals, that put a financial strain on us. But we did not ever shut down. Our doors stayed open from day one to this day.
Well, we really appreciate it. I know that that your partners, your consumers also obviously appreciate it. So I'm looking at your page now. So $25 helps a person with a disability apply for housing in the community. $50 provides food for a family in need, and $100 provides material for making a home accessible for a disability. Can you talk a little bit about that and the resources that you provide to make housing accessible?
Sure, absolutely. Well, myself is what we call Americans with Disabilities Act certified. So I do spend a lot of time with local businesses, homeowners, contractors to understand the needs of things from simply automatic door openers to ramps, no step entrance, to grab bars in bathrooms, to what we call, unisex bathrooms so that they have the wheelchair space, just, simple things like that. There's not a lot of financial opportunities out there for families to take advantage of that. So again, that $100 donation goes to what we call our SIL consumer fund. And when a consumer reaches out and says they need something as simple as that, we can go and make that happen for them.
Excellent. Well, Hillary, thank you so much for your time. We are $399,811. So we're right around the corner. Oh, I thought it was going to go. It didn't go.
Yeah.
But we're right around the corner. Thank you so much for joining us today. Best of luck, and thank you so much for the impact that your organization has in our community.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. You guys as well.
So, Vicki, we have another special guest from WellSpan that will be joining us right now. Kim, good morning. How are you? I know you're.
Good morning.
I gotcha.
And
Before we do that, just Chris, I want to take a quick technical moment here. On that second mic that Kim has, I am getting feedback. The mic that is right in front of her sounds a little crackly to me in my headphone, but it may just be me. Perfect. So, Vicki, we heard from another amazing organization providing direct support to our community, but I want to talk about Kim, our very special guest. So, Kim, hello, I'm Philip. I saw you were just ushered in here. So good morning, and talk to us a little bit about your role at WellSpan, and we've been talking all morning about the value that WellSpan Health has brought to our York community over the last year. So I'm excited to hear from you.
Good morning, Phil.
Good
my
morning.
name is, once again, Kim Brister. I am the Senior Director of Talent Acquisition, Diversity and Inclusion here at WellSpan. My role is really to have the strategic oversight for our recruitment efforts as well as our DEI efforts. You know, WellSpan is an organization, you know, a strong provider here in central Pennsylvania, and we truly believe that, you know, our goal in being a trusted partner and providing exceptional care for all begins with a diverse team of individuals that really feel comfortable coming to work each and every day. So we've really just been on this journey to provide and create a culture where our team members are able just to come to work, provide exceptional care to all of our patients that come within our doors, and also just to give our team members opportunities to share their experiences with one another. Just this month in April, the month that just passed, it was Diversity Awareness Month, and we did some videos with various team members from different areas and different segments of diversity, individuals from the LGBTQ community, veterans, you know, just other areas, just to make sure that when we talk about diversity, we're looking at all the elements of diversity that make us unique, but at the same time bring similarities to the work. So we just, once again, we're excited about the work that we're doing, of course, and just excited about Give Local York today and all the wonderful organizations that are participating, and, you know, just congrats to all those and kudos to everyone who's donating today to Give Local York.
And we've got we're up to 1,495 donors, 2,423 gifts, and over $400,000 raised for 275 organizations. Vicki, can you talk about how diversity and inclusion is threaded throughout WellSpan?
Oh, absolutely. It would be my pleasure. In fact, I'm so excited to be with my colleague, Kim. I know she's a woman of influence, and in fact, the Central Penn Business Journal just recognized her as a woman of influence because of her work in equity and diversity and inclusion. It's threaded in every which way we can think about, whether it's ensuring we have the perspectives within our community around how we deliver care and reaching out into the community. And that was very, very evident through the pandemic in terms of, you know, understanding vaccine hesitancy and how we reach out into the community and make sure we have information that's available in languages and just in ways, and partnering with our churches and others to make sure we're making those connections. And Kim drove many and led many of those efforts. So that's just one of the ways we could speak to.
Well, and Kim, it's important. Obviously, it's important for WellSpan that your workforce is representative, but you're also representing the community, and it's important that the workforce of WellSpan Health is representative of that community. So, can you talk a little bit about just the impact that being a welcoming and representative place of employment and what that means for not just the employees, but the community.
Absolutely. So, when you think about it, when, you have diverse community members that come in to seek care, they're going to feel most comfortable when they see employees and team members, nurses, nursing assistants, caregivers that truly look like them and are able to relate to their culture and really lean into and provide comfortable care to them, culturally competent care. So, that is a critical element of diversity, and then, creating that environment where we're able to truly lean in, provide care that aligns with a patient's background and culture. And so that is a key focus for us.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Really, truly appreciate it. And an exciting day, it sounds like a very exciting time for WellSpan as well.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much,
And
Kim.
just so you know, I
Yeah.
made my donation while I was out there waiting, so I contributed to Give Local York this morning.
Now, Kim, we have, let's see, we've got 16 hours and 17 minutes left, so you have plenty of time to make more donations as well for today.
Right.
Kim, thank you so much for joining us. Really, truly appreciate it. So next, we are going to have some very special guests from the Salvation Army join us. Chris, I don't know if you want to switch directly to me here for a second. So everybody, just for a real quick update, we've got 1,500 donors, 2,487 gifts, over $400,000 raised for the York community, 276 organizations. Guys, my favorite part of Give Local York is what is happening right now. I just had an awesome conversation with some representatives from WellSpan Health, and in that time, $20,000 was raised for the York community. The generosity of our York residents, of our York business owners, of our York community is evident now more than ever, when it is more important than ever for us to give and to support these organizations. And Chris, one of these organizations that is with us today is the Salvation Army of York. And if you guys can do me a favor and just use the mic that is in front of Major Tom, just because we may have a technical issue with that one that I want to look at. So we've got Major Tom and Brittany from the Salvation Army York. You are raising funds for the Summer Day Camp program. Now, it is sunny out today. I thought it was going to be overcast and raining all day. So I'm ready to talk about the Summer Day Camp program.
Great. Well, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yes, Summer Day Camp this year is going to be even more important than usual. As you know, kids have not really had opportunity to be together, to play, to do some of the things that they usually do, with a lot of schools not meeting and all the restrictions because of COVID. So kids are very anxiously awaiting our Summer Day Camp this year.
Now, how long have you guys been doing the Summer Day Camp? As long as you can remember? That's excellent. How many kids participate in the program?
So this year we'll have 60 because
Okay.
we're going to be at a reduced capacity.
Yep.
But typically we can take 80.
That's awesome. Now, for 2020, did you have a day camp program at all?
No.
So,
unfortunately.
Brittany, can you talk a little bit about, obviously, our kids, not just with Salvation Army, but all camps, all park programs for 2020 were canceled. As we're getting back into 2021, not only is it important that our kids are returning to in-person interactions and having that sense of community, but it's important for their growth. So from Salvation Army's perspective, I mean, how excited are you for that to be possible again for 2021?
We're so excited. We have an after-school program throughout the year in our learning center, and we see some kids that overlap with summer, but a lot of times with summer it's kids that we only get to see during the summer, and they return for summer day camp because they're all across York County. And so it's really exciting. Our day camp is structured so they get to have breakfast and lunch and a snack, and they go swimming every week, and they go skating every week, and they get to go on a big field trip every week. So Lake Tobias, Cherry Crest Farm, Spooky Nook, Sports, and so it's really a great time for them, and they really like to be with the staff. A lot of the staff is reoccurring, so they get to know those relationships and connections. We know it's so important for our youth to connect, and so we're just really excited to host them, following all safety guidelines and CDC. But we're just excited to have them back again.
Well, that's excellent. Now, this is always my favorite part. If you guys can take a second, because obviously everyone knows Salvation Army for two things. Well, at least as far as I know, it's the bell ringers and the stores. But the reality of Salvation Army is that your impact is much deeper than that. So can you guys talk a little bit about the services that you provide?
Sure, that is pretty funny. That's what everybody knows the Salvation Army for, our bell ringers at Christmas and the thrift stores. But we do so much more. As a matter of fact, the thrift stores support our drug and alcohol rehabilitation centers. The ones in this area support the Harrisburg Center. But we also have so many programs. As Brittany mentioned, we have an after-school program. We have a learning center. We have a Bridging the Gap program that teaches life skills to children. We have a wide variety of services through our family services, including our food pantry, which was greatly ramped up during COVID. We were seeing about 10 times the number of people we usually see. We have. I usually try and make a list because we do so many things. I sometimes forget some of the things that we do. But Brittany, any others?
Utility assistance, prescription assistance, a clothing room.
Yes.
We work with Penn State Extension and offer a super cupboard, which is learning how to grocery shop on a budget and learn how to cook safely and healthy for your families.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the first time that I was in the pantry on King Street right here in York. I had no idea. And you guys, I know you do the Postmaster stamp collection food drive as well. You support that with the U.S. Postal Service. So really, thank you guys so much. Any parting words for our Give Local viewers at home for the Salvation Army?
You know, the York community has continued to amaze us and be so incredibly kind and generous to our mission and to the community as a whole, and we are forever grateful for that. We just ask that you consider being a hero to a kid this summer for our Superheroes of Faith Summer Day Camp.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We have, this is what I'm talking about. I had a nice little chat, and you guys gave another $15,000. So we just got to keep doing that for the rest of the day. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Before we let our friends from the Salvation Army go, I just want to jump in super quick here and just say thank you. I worked as a National Red Kettle Ambassador for the Salvation Army back in 2017 and took a big road trip around the U.S. and had a chance to meet a lot of wonderful people with the Salvation Army. It's really no coincidence that the Salvation Army happened to be our first in-person guest. Someone may have been drawing up the schedule a couple weeks ago. So I just wanted to take a few seconds and say thank you for all that you guys do. I know the broad variety of all the great work that the Army does around the country, and just am so grateful. And you may see a donation for me coming in later tonight, so stay tuned.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. All right, guys, 1,600 donors, 2,600 gifts, 400. You did it again. An additional $2,000 since I last harassed you. So I appreciate that. 278 organizations. The generosity is being felt in York this morning. And we are going to be back here in just a second with our amazing sponsors, WellSpan Health. And then, Chris, we've got a virtual guest, in-person guest. We're doing the whole shebang for this one. So joining Vicki and I are going to be Dr. Diller and Daryl Henry. Daryl, are you still there? Did he disappear?
Daryl, can you turn your camera back on? There he is.
There he is. How's it going, Daryl? All right. Dr. Diller, how are you?
Okay, hold on.
Excellent. So, Daryl, what are we here to talk about today?
Right now, so I'm getting the kids to school here shortly. But
who is that beside you there?
This is my son Connor. So we're taking him to kindergarten here in about the next 30 minutes or so. But Dr. Diller and I we co-hosted a radio program over the winter that was a lot of fun and pretty rewarding to do. So. I'll be in at the ballpark later today, but for now we're talking about it virtually, and great to be on with you.
All right. So, Dr. Diller, can you talk to us a little bit about Mindset Matters, Mental Health Awareness Month? Vicki and I touched on it a little bit earlier, that WellSpan is about the comprehensive care of our community. So please
Yeah, truly with WellSpan, it's whole person well-being and health, and mental health is just a part of that. So it was an honor to be with Daryl. Daryl actually, along with Reed Gunderson with WellSpan, approached me and said, what about doing a series on mental health? This was back in the fall, so we're rolling through the pandemic at that time, and we're starting to see the impact of the pandemic. But even before that, mental health was significant, at least in my life, in terms of just the work that I do. And it was so amazing that Daryl wanted to actually tell his story. I won't say much more of that. I would love to hear Daryl's part of that, but that was part of the fire to say, hey, why don't we get a chance to have two people come together, talk a little bit about this on Sports Talk Radio, and share this message about how important mental health is. And Daryl, I got to tell you, we formed a friendship through those 9 episodes that we filmed. Daryl, is that fair to say? And just loved this person who decided to say, you know what, let's tell a little bit of my story. And this is what happens.
Game over, man. Yeah, 100%. I really wanted to come in today because we haven't met in person yet. So I guess that's going to have to happen probably at a York Revolution game at some point this summer. But yeah, for 9 episodes, we got together each week virtually over Zoom and recorded it, and then aired it on the radio. And it was the highlight of the winter for me. I looked forward to it each week, formed a great friendship with Dr. Diller in doing that. And it was, I manage a sports talk radio station, yes. But the idea was kind of born from, we've got this great partnership with WellSpan. In fact, I'm wearing my 2017 championship shirt, which was sponsored by WellSpan today for the occasion. And with not having a baseball season last year, we were looking for other ways that we could do things in that partnership. And the idea came out that one of the things that WellSpan was focused on last year was mental health and that awareness. And obviously in this day and age with the pandemic and all of that. So, we put our heads together, figured out what we could do, and somehow this idea for the radio program was born. So we did 9 episodes. It was an honor for me to share my story. Went into great detail in hopes that maybe one person listening could have related to the exact things that I was going through, or something similar. And Dr. Diller shared his story as well. So again, there were 9 of them. They're archived on the station website at 989woyk.com. We also had a video version on the York Revolution YouTube channel, so those can still be viewed or listened to. But yeah, we covered almost every angle that we could think of from a mental health standpoint. And fortunately now, there's brighter days ahead. But we did it in the thick of the pandemic and the winter surge and everything. And I think a lot of people were struggling with that aspect of it. So hopefully it was helpful.
Well, and Dr. Diller, so we obviously heard Daryl talk about the impact of missing an entire baseball season, which, when we look at mental health, obviously it's different for everyone. The Salvation Army was just talking about an entire summer camp season that is just gone. How do you think, as we enter into 2021 and we're focusing on our mental health, what are some important things that we can do? I started the day, I don't know if you saw, with a big deep breath, because I think that's what we really need right now. But as we look at such an amazing day where over $400,000 are raised by 7:55 a.m., what can our community do to focus on their mental health?
I just love the fact that you started by taking a deep breath. Because I think, even before the pandemic, and Darryl and I talked about this during the series, but this conversation that has been ongoing, and this was one of our goals. We did those 9 episodes. They're archived on the Revs YouTube website.
99WOYK, Darryl, is that correct?
98.9.
99WOYK.com?
98.9.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Well, no, because we wanted to make sure that that content lived on. You know, it's not just because it's May is mental health awareness.
I can hear you. That's good to know.
And it should be every day. And so more people, because they've been touched.
It's very overwhelming.
I mentioned a couple things in terms of just the number of losses, not just loss of life, loss in many different definitions of that word. And you know, one of the things that stood out to me during this pandemic was what's the greatest loss? The greatest loss is your loss. And so that creates a window for some empathy and some compassion about what your story might be, what my story may be. So taking a pause to breathe and then also be present for others. What better way to do that right now than we're seeing $400,000 being raised in just a few hours? This idea of giving back, being present, and just being there for one another. You know, Vic and I were just talking not that long ago about just one of the mantras that we at WellSpan have started to kind of, well, lean on in some ways. You know, we talk about leaning on one another and lifting each other up, and then leaning into our values. And one of those is just making sure we have respect for everyone, that we do the right thing, and we just find better ways. And this is what we did together with Daryl, him coming together with me, the Revs with WellSpan. It's been fantastic. So those things, be present, stop for a second and breathe. So I love how you started that today. And then be there for someone else, because you just never know what might be going on in that person's story. And that only takes a second. Even behind the mask, you can smile with your eyes. So be there for someone. Those small things, I'm telling you, can make all the difference in the world.
Well, I'm going to go home, and Dr. Diller and Vicky will just take the rest of this show for us, because clearly, Daryl, I have to ask, when you were with Dr. Diller, were you just like, you know what? This is your thing. You go ahead and do this.
I mean, that was tempting for sure. Now he was such a natural at it, and it's so great to see him again today through the computer screen. But yeah, he made it super easy for me to tell my story, which, you know, by the way, was you know, various episodes of depression and anxiety over the years, and certainly exacerbated by the pandemic. And I knew at some point I wanted to share it in some fashion, in hopes of helping others. And this idea came up, and it was the perfect time to do it. But I remember the first episode, I think I told him, like, you know, if you can prompt me a little bit and ask me some questions to get me going. He made it super easy to open up and share basically every detail that I could think of that might help somebody else. So he was a true co-host. It wasn't one or the other. I mean, we had such a great rapport and went back and forth. I've got to get him on some Revs pregame this year to promote what we did, because like I said, you can still go back and listen to the show and watch it. So we've got to get him to the ballpark and promote it again coming up at some point this summer.
That sounds fantastic. I don't mean to cut you off, but we have our next hour coming up, and we have our nonprofit guests lining up for our 8 a.m. hour. So I want to give a very special thanks to WellSpan for all of this incredible content this morning. Let me hit that applause button here for everyone here, Reed and the whole team. Thank you so much for putting this together. I don't mean to cut everybody off, but we do have to get moving into our 8 a.m. hour. So stay right here. We're actually going to keep this stream going. I already see Melanie and Katie and Casey and Katie are here. So we'll have them loaded in here in just a second. We'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. And thank you for watching. GiveLocalYork.org, and we'll see you in like 60 seconds.
All right, everybody, we are back. It is just after 8 o'clock. We have $520,830 raised, over $500,000 raised just at 8 o'clock by 1,900 donors, 3,000 gifts to 286 organizations. You guys are amazing. So in this 8 o'clock hour, I've got a bunch of special guests. Just to give you a quick preview of who we're going to have, we're going to have a representative from York Habitat for Humanity, Life Path Christian Ministries, Downtown Inc., and the YMCA of York and York County. But first, I have a very special guest in person with me from Giant, who is an amazing sponsor of Give Local York year after year. Jessica, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Good morning. I'm so well. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, $500,000 raised. How could I not be well right now?
That's a great start to the day.
So Giant has been a great partner of Give Local York. Can you talk a little bit about why it's important for Giant to participate in Give Local York and really support this event to support 300 nonprofits in York County?
Yeah, so it's important to us because we're here in this community, and we have 10 stores in the York County at the moment. We have hundreds of team members who are excited and passionate about serving their community and helping the community. One of our purposes is to be a caring culture, and all of the nonprofits that are part of today's fundraiser are committed to caring and committed to helping. So this fundraiser makes all the sense for us because it helps us care for each other, which is why we're all here, is to care for each other.
Well, and obviously 2020 was a challenging year. 2021 continues to challenge us in maybe different ways. Last year for this live stream, I was actually in the family room of our house doing this broadcast, and I had the Give Local stuff behind me and then a big Giant logo on the other side. But really, I think that one thing that has been threaded throughout the morning, we had Central Pennsylvania Food Bank here talking about food insecurity. We had Wellspan Health talking about comprehensive care provided to the community during the pandemic. Giant was right in that mix. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, there were obviously food chain issues, supply issues. Giant got up to speed very quickly to respond to the needs of our community. Can you talk a little bit about and nobody likes going backwards, but it is, I think, nice for us to reflect 2020 into 2021. What does Giant see as being the lasting impact in our community? And as you look towards the response and recovery, and we're back to normal, what does that mean to Giant and your employees, the workforce, and York County?
So for us, the recovery is strong. We are getting better every day. We continue to take what we did in 2020 to help our communities, and we continue to just keep doing those things. We learned so much about how dedicated our team members are and communities are to helping one another during the pandemic that it just emboldened us to do more and to find new ways to help the community. So it's only made us more passionate about the things that we were already passionate about. And so we just keep charging forward every day, just being better and finding new ways to get better to support the community.
Well, and Giant did an excellent job at keeping customers safe during the pandemic, keeping your employees safe. So we do truly appreciate it. We appreciate your support for Give Local York. When you look at 300 organizations, we've got 4 or 5 of them that we're going to talk to in this hour. Why is it important for Giant to support an event like this and support nonprofit organizations that are providing services to our community?
It's important because we're all in this together, and we are such a strong part of the community that we have a responsibility to help where we can. And being a presenting sponsor for events like today, help us to help the organizations. I was just talking with Joe from the YMCA. We were just talking about how we have a commitment for our team members to get out in the community and to do acts of service.
So it's not just about the money, it's also about the time, because sometimes that's even more precious than the money. So we are more than grateful to be part of today's campaign, and we ask everyone that if you can give a little, a lot. If you can't give financially, get out there and do some community service, connect with one of these organizations, and do some good to your neighbors and your friends, because together we can all make some really great impacts.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point. You know, the financial impact, $550,000 raised for 287 organizations, is obviously huge. But what Giant Support and what Give Local allows us to do is really highlight those organizations. If you asked anybody on the street to name nonprofits, they might be able to name 10, maybe 15. There's 300 organizations in York County that are participating today, which is amazing. Real quick before I let you go, 2 years ago, we had a grocery store about a block from here that actually suffered a fire. There was a fire in the complex there, and Giant responded by bringing a tractor trailer load of food down to this parking lot, actually right behind us here, because they recognized that the needs of our community wouldn't be met due to the fire at that grocery store. So that's one, in my lens, that's one thing that I know Giant is serious about their commitment to our community. So we do truly appreciate it.
Hey, we're here. We're in it with.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, what's the robot's name? Walt? Is it Marty? Marty is my favorite Giant employee. He is awesome. So I just wanted to say that. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thanks to Giant for your support of this event. As we look towards another organization that not just supports our residents during time of need, but has for several decades, York Habitat for Humanity. And from York Habitat, we have Casey, who is Volunteer Services Manager and Public Relations Representative. So I know, Casey, you guys have an upcoming build that we're going to talk about, but talk to me about Give Local. Why is Give Local important to you guys?
So a common misconception about Habitat for Humanity is we give homes away for free, and that's completely not true. But on the other side of that, we lose about $70,000 to $80,000 per home that we build. So if we were a quote unquote regular construction company, we'd be out of the business years ago. So the monetary donations that we receive do help us out immensely going back into our construction efforts. Behind me, I have a 1 to 1/4 scale of a home, just so you can see kind of everything that goes into building a home, because it's so much more than just the money. It's the love that can put every piece together to make a home for families in need.
And it's more than the money. It's also the volunteers. Talk to me a little bit, and you are a volunteer services manager, obviously, but talk to me about the volunteers and how that's something Jessica from Giant and I were just talking about, is the importance of volunteers. So please talk to me a little bit about how important volunteers are to your organization.
So it takes about 4,000 hours just to build one home. And talking about the home we're focusing on today, which is 711 Chestnut Street, it's actually a part of 6 row homes. So it's going to take, right off the bat, like 24,000 hours just to get these homes off the ground. Looking back towards the pandemic, we actually looked at about an 85% decrease in volunteer hours, which put us about 1.5 to 2 years behind our build schedule. And the thing that is kind of making us suffer the most is we have families in our home ownership program that actually have completed it, but we don't have a home to put them in yet. So trying to get back up to full speed and build these homes as quickly and as safely as possible to ensure these families have that decent, affordable place to live.
Excellent. So can you talk to us a little bit about, before I let you go, can you talk to us a little bit about 711 Chestnut Street, timeline for that project, and how people can get more information or help, even if it's beyond Give Local York today?
Yeah, so we broke ground on 7-Eleven last month, and it's going to be York Habitat's first ever One Community Build. We're looking to newly engage local racial and social justice groups as well to kind of give them that platform that they can interact and have those quote unquote hard conversations that they may not be able to have other places, but also support their community as well.
Excellent. So I meant to pull up your page here. Does Habitat have any goals for 2021?
For specifically Give Local, our goal is to raise $45,000 for 7-Eleven Chestnut, and that includes tools that we have recognized as a need for our construction team so we could build more and do it better than we have before.
I see that now. So $10 provides the funds for one sheet of drywall. $40 provides the funds for one drywall tape gun. $70 provides the funds for one 50-pound box of nails. $100 provides the funds for one ceiling fan. So that's awesome. I love when the organizations get creative with your prizes, but it really illustrates, I think, the importance of giving and how even if it's a $10, $5 donation, it's those small donations that all roll up together to really make an impact on Give Local York Day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Casey, thank you so much. If they want to get more information about York Habitat for Humanity, where can they go?
They can go to yorkhabitat.org. If they're looking to volunteer, they can reach out to me specifically. My email is my first name, Kasey, @yorkhabitat.org.
All right. Casey, thank you so much. Good luck today. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Oh, and we have a video, which we're going to play
Oh.
as well. It's very exciting.
We built over 140 homes and serve over 750 men, women, and children in the York County community. Affordable homeownership allows individuals to achieve the strength and self-reliance that they need to build better lives for themselves and their families. The outcomes we see from this are real, long-lasting, and life-changing. From breaking the cycle of poverty to increasing educational opportunities and creating better health outcomes, a safe, stable, affordable home is more than just somewhere to sleep at night. Our Habitat home buyers are working York County residents who are currently living in substandard conditions, which we define as unsafe, overcrowded, or unaffordable. Our home buyers do pay for their homes, but with a
All right. Well, Casey, thank you so much again. And if you guys want to get more information on York Habitat, just head to givelocal.york.org. Do a little search at the top and search for York Habitat. Give $5. $5 gets a 10-pack of electrical outlets. So that's my challenge. Someone sitting at home right now, go to givelocal.york.org. $5 to York Habitat. Make it happen right now. Casey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next we have another wonderful organization providing direct services to our York residents. Melanie, how are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you, Philip?
I'm good. So, Melanie, you are with Life Path Christian Ministries. Please tell us a little bit about Life Path for those sitting at home that may not know anything about Life Path. I think let's start there.
Of course.
You know what, Melanie? Do you want to play the video first? That'll probably explain a little bit for him.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Without LifePath, I honestly don't know where I'd be. This guest had used up all of her lifelines and was feeling hopeless. When she started her journey at LifePath, she found a hot meal, a place to lay her head, and a kind, accepting mentor. She is now studying for her GED and applying for jobs. Your Give Local York donation means everything to those we serve. Thank you.
Well, Melanie, you pretty much already said it all there. So talk a little bit about LifePath and what a day like Give Local means. It is 8 a.m. and LifePath has already raised just about $9,000 so far. Congratulations.
Thank you. We are thrilled with the support so far, and Of course, we count on our donors all year long. But for LifePath, our purpose is all about serving the population experiencing poverty and homelessness all over York County, but of course, a lot of the presence of homelessness is in York City. We have 2 shelters. One is a men's shelter and one is a women's and children's shelter. And Give Local means so much to us, in large part because it's about the partnerships. We love being together with all of these other nonprofits, raising money for the important work that we do. And our work is lifted by the partnerships that we have with other organizations who can help us with issues like mental health, like addictions, and like some of the other issues that our guests experience.
Now, I think I'm correct that the Give Local York target project for 2021 are the men's restroom facilities, correct?
That's right. We have a goal of $36,000 this year, and one of our the important words that we use every day in our work is dignity. We believe that every human being deserves dignity, and certainly our guests who have experienced homelessness deserve dignity. And so something as simple as a modern, clean, updated restroom provides that kind of dignity. And so that's why we've chosen this renovation project. It's inside our men's shelter, which, if you've ever driven by the 300 block of West Market Street, you know, is a very old building. And we've worked very hard picking away with renovation projects over the years. But this is one that has been kind of limping along. And we've been saying it's worn down to the studs at this point. It just needs to be done. And so we're very hopeful that we can complete this project using the money that we raised today.
Excellent. Well, it looks like $15 is 5 square feet of epoxy grout to use between the floor tiles. And then if you hop up to $100, 5 square feet of tile floor installed on the subfloor in the bathroom. I think this is really, really excellent. I know that Give Local York donors love supporting specific projects like this that go directly to respond to a specific need. So I thank you. I thank LifePath for, I'm a city resident. I'm a downtown resident. I see directly the impact. Yep. I see directly. You're within shouting distance. I think if I walk out the stadium.
Wave across the street. Yep.
So I see firsthand the impact that LifePath has. So on behalf of the city of York, truly appreciate it. And best of luck to you guys today.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, Chris, it looks like we are at $577,000 raised, 3,601 gifts, 290 organizations, 2,211 donors. It's only 8:30, man.
I mean, 8:30 a.m. or p.m. I mean, I see that sunshine behind you, Philip. I just wanted to take a quick second and let you guys know, if you're watching at home, we are working on all the audio issues and everything. We are doing the absolute best that we can, and hope that you are enjoying the live stream so far. And we've got some really wonderful guests coming up. I jumped the gun and showed Katie's coming up next, so we'll get her on here in just a second. But thank you guys for bearing with us. And, Philip, I think you're doing a magnificent job dealing with me and all the tech stuff here. Don't worry, we've only got like 18 hours to go. So let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a number of organizations that are near and dear to my heart. Katie, near the top of the list is Downtown Inc. I already gave today so far. It's fine. Chris has a clapping thing. He didn't even give me a clapping thing. That's fine. Whatever. Katie,
Wow.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, thank you, Philip, for your early donation. We're getting there. We've had some early leads come in, and you feel the energy. Energy's flowing. So it's a great day in York County.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that has obviously been threaded through our show so far today and through Give Local is both the need in the community and the support that these organizations have provided to residents. One aspect of that has not been touched upon at all is the business community. And Downtown Inc. in the pandemic has directly responded to the needs of our business community. One of those avenues is through the Bloom Grant. So can you talk to us a little bit about the Bloom Grant, how important that has been, and really the impact that it's had for our business community?
I'd love to. Thank you. So last year during Give Local, the community came together in a big way for us. All the money that we raised through the day, and we had some generous funders after the fact. All that money came together. We put it in the Bloom Grant program and got it right back out to the downtown York business community. And as we know, last year was a year unlike no other. This year is still a year that is unlike any other. And last year, that money really went to businesses to weather the storm, whatever they needed. If they needed patio furniture to do outdoor dining, if they needed money for new equipment, for refrigerator units, for grab and go, if they needed anything for PPE, whatever they needed, we tried to get that money out as quickly as we could and touched about 30 businesses. And so this year, we know we've weathered the storm. Looking for the sunny days ahead. So raise these funds today to get them right back out into the business community for whatever it is that they need.
Awesome. So on that note, Chris, we've got an awesome Downtown Inc. video. If we can play that really quickly.
Main Street communities succeed when dedicated organizations like Downtown Inc. work together for the better. Despite the challenges of the past year, downtown York has seen new businesses and the continued success of many merchants, all because of supporters like you. This year, we've set the goal of raising $25,000. All funds donated to Downtown Inc. on May 7th will go directly to recovery efforts to support our local businesses so they can not only weather the storm, but enjoy many sunny days ahead.
Oh, I see where you got the many sunny days ahead.
I know. See how we pull that narrative through? That's top level marketing for you.
You're very good at what you do. Well, Katie, thank you so much. Elaine did an amazing job in the video. And one thing that we haven't had a chance to talk about so far today is First Friday. It is First Friday in downtown York. So people should come down after they've gone on to givelocal.york.org, donated to Downtown Inc. Come on down tonight and experience it, right?
Yes, please do. I am keeping my fingers crossed that the weather cooperates. Might take a little bit of a miracle, but there is a lot going on in downtown, from Parliament to Beaver Street to the Appel Center. A lot of really cool things. King George Speakeasy has some live music going on tonight too. So, grab your mask, make your donations, get out, support local. More than ever, the community really needs you, and we're very excited to be part of today for both First Friday and Give Local.
Also, I see Chris has joined us here.
So, Katie, before we let you go, at the bottom of the screen here, we've got a little call to action. We're going to ask everybody who's watching to take a screenshot and share it on Twitter and Instagram using that hashtag #GiveLocalYork. So if you want to give us our biggest smile, is there like a York pose that I should know about or something fun? How should we pose, Katie?
I mean, I have my Downtown York T-shirt on, so I'm gonna push that a little bit.
I got my hat here too. I got my Revs hat.
See?
All right, 3, 2, 1. Philip, you ready?
Yep.
Thanks for being a good sport, Katie. We appreciate you. Best of luck today.
Absolutely. Appreciate you both. Thanks for everything you do.
All right, so we are at just about $600,000 raised, 291 organizations, 3,700 gifts at 8:30. So shifting from Downtown Inc. to another organization that has called Downtown York home for saying several years, I think, is an understatement, Joe, obviously, but the YMCA of York and York County, by the way, Joe, doing a real good job on fundraising so far today.
Thank you. I wish I could take credit, but it's actually all the donors who are making us look good at this point. So thank you to everyone who's donated so far.
Absolutely. So, Joe, can you tell us a little bit about the YMCA of York and York County, the programming that you guys provide? I had the Salvation Army here earlier today, and one of the things I said is that there's a front-facing piece of the Salvation Army, and it's sort of similar to the Y. I think that the impact and the services that you provide may not be widely known to the community. So please tell us about the Y.
Well, part of the reason I love working for the YMCA and really respect it as an institution is that it just does so much for basically anyone you can think of. I'm like a kid in a candy shop here. If you see a problem in the community, there's something the Y can do to make it better. So especially during the last year, we've really been leaning into a lot of our mission work out there, which works a lot with children in the community. We've upgraded our child care into a program we now call EduCare, because a lot of the kiddos had to do virtual learning, and our current child care needed to step its game up to make sure they could keep learning even when they had to do so outside of school. And something that's near and dear to my heart at the YMCA is we actually have a men's residence above the branch in downtown New York City, which is home to over 100 men who used to be homeless and now are just men living in the men's residence, and is their permanent home. And there they get affordable housing, free housing in case of emergencies, case management support, and the access to everything the YMCA has to offer. I think that's the main thing that I really respect about the YMCA is we make sure that no one is turned away from the YMCA due to an inability to pay.
Well, that is truly amazing, and the impact is obviously felt throughout the community, not just in the city of York, obviously. So today, if you go to givelocal.york.org, search for the YMCA, they've got a bunch of fun giving levels. So $30 helps a kid have the summer of a lifetime at camp. $60 empower those living with Parkinson's disease through Rocksteady Boxing. Tell me a little bit about that. That's cool.
Well, if you tune in at 11:30 to our Facebook page, you can actually watch me do a workout with the Rocksteady Boxing team. But Rocksteady Boxing is a program, believe it or not, it's a boxing-related program specifically created to help individuals struggling with Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease results in neural breakdown, loss of coordination, and so the movements and mindset and really just the skills involved in boxing help counteract and sometimes even reverse the effects of Parkinson's disease. And that program is so fun and so inspiring. The team, Ann and Nikki on that team, are just some of the most delightful people I've ever met, and their positivity and energy is contagious. So I hope you tune in at 11:30 to see that program in action, learn a little bit more.
And then the $110 level expand food program to better serve people from diverse backgrounds. Is that with the New American Welcoming Center as well?
There's actually a fun story with this one. So about, I think it was Wednesday, they learned of a person who wrote a book who was a refugee from Somalia who was living in Mechanicsburg. And so they basically went to his website, called the phone number on the website, left a message, and he called them back. This is the team at the New American Welcome Center, Jose and Craig. And so on Wednesday, they went up to Mechanicsburg. Lo and behold, there's over 3,000 individuals from Somalia up in Mechanicsburg. And so they went and basically coordinated a food program where they got food specific to that region. So things like camel meat and specific rice and all that, and distribute to all these families living in that area. And that's something we're looking at across the board is when we have the food distributions is making sure the food we give out is sensitive to that community and that culture so they can still have, similar to what LifePath was saying earlier, that dignity of being able to live their own experience and the validity of their own cultural heritage.
Well, Joe, we just crossed the $600,000.
Hey, Paul, you ready for this?
Do we have the thing?
We have the thing. Ready? You want to tell the quick story of what that means?
So that is Mr. Bob Pulo, and every $100,000 we get a little woo. Hit me with the woos again. Woo! 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 So as I think most of you know, Joe, as you know, without Mr. Pulo, Give Local York would absolutely not be possible. So we thank him. Joe, I thank you for joining us today. So 11:30 on your Facebook page. You guys absolutely do an amazing job on Give Local York. If they want to find out more about the YMCA of York and York County, where can they go? And what else do you need from them?
We always need, we need people to volunteer to join us in any of these programs, either as members of some of our communities or even hands on the ground, making sure the work gets done. and always looking for donations. A lot of these programs do have significant costs to make sure that the Y is accessible for everyone. And also simply to spread the word about not just the things the Y is doing, but the great things that all these nonprofits are doing. Because my favorite thing about this Giving Day is getting to see just the sheer variety and passion in all these different community members. And I'm so honored to be part of this nonprofit community to make sure that everyone in York County can live the life they deserve.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much. So again, if you go to givelocalyork.org, search for the YMCA of York and York County. Before we wrap up the 9 o'clock hour, Chris, are we bringing Jessica from Giant back?
Yeah, I thought we'd bring Jessica back just for a couple more minutes. We got a few minutes before our 9 a.m. broadcast. So Jess, if you want to come back and have a seat again. Giant is sort of our major sponsor here today. And I really thought it just makes sense to take a second as well. I want to express my gratitude on behalf of everyone who's watching at home as well. We want to really say thank you. And we got Jess. Let's put Jess back up on the screen. You don't need to see me here. 1 second here. But Philip, without Giant, there's no Give Local York. And it's just a really, it's a special day. This is my first time in York, Pennsylvania. So it's been fun kind of exploring the community. And it's just, it means a lot to be able to say thank you. So maybe it was selfish of me to ask you to come back, but I wanted to make sure I just took that second to really sincerely express that appreciation, because I get to work with these giving days around the country, and it's just, it never gets old to me to see kind of what this means. And I'm just in a very unique position where I get to see you. A lot of the nonprofits that are watching at home might not get that opportunity. So,
well, Chris, Jessica, here's
trying before 9 a.m. Here we go.
So, Chris, what time's your flight back tomorrow?
I'll be in the air at 8:02 a.m.
Yeah, that's too early. We should go to the nearest Giant, because you don't even know who Marty is, do you?
I don't really know the Marty story. Is there a Marty story?
Yeah, tell us about Marty.
Yeah, so Marty helps us keep our stores clean. He helps us, he calls out if we've got a spill on the floor. He says, hey, there's a spill. Can someone come help clean it up? Or he helps us with...
It's coming back to me now. Marty is not a human.
He is not.
Got it.
He is a lovely robot that jets around each of our stores and helps our team members provide safe spaces for all of our team members and customers. Kids love him. We've got a Marty cookie, so we'll find a way to hook you up there. But
if someone's watching at home, you want to bring me a Marty cookie. That's fine. Uber Eats it.
Available. He really is. He's helped our stores, and again, kids love him. My children love him. My kids are like, Marty, we get in there. It's quite something. So yeah, you got to experience Marty.
So, Jessica, if it sounds odd to say if people want to find out more about Giant, where can they go? Because it's so ubiquitous in this community. But if they wanted to learn more about Giant's impact in the community, I know that there's a spot on the website for that. Anything else you think people should know about Giant today?
It's just that Giant is part of this community, and we're part of so many communities. We get the pleasure of engaging with our customers and team members and organizations. This day is not about Giant. This day is about 300 organizations that get to benefit from the support of the residents of York County, and it's quite something. 300. I was sitting out there thinking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, one county with 300 organizations that are coming together to help each other, and it's quite something. It's really impactful. And so what's happening here today is contagious, right? And I'm here just really to be part of it.
Well, and we get focused on the dollar amount because the dollar impact is obviously huge, and it is very important. And the fact that, Chris, we have $620,000 almost raised before 9 a.m. is amazing. But I think one thing that the support of Giant and Give Local York allows our community to have is really a spotlight into organizations that they might not be familiar with. There are obviously institution level nonprofits that everybody knows, but it's the little 1-2 person nonprofit operations that need our support the most, and in many cases are the ones providing direct support in our neighborhoods. So I know that is part of the reason that you guys support this event.
Yes, absolutely. It is about making sure that we can impact as many organizations as possible and as many communities as possible. And if us being part of this amazing event today helps us to do that, then we've done our small little part of the job for the day.
Awesome. Well, with $620,000 just about raised, I think that we're gonna make it happen today. So, Chris, what's up next, man?
Again, thank you to Jessica for coming back, for indulging me for a few more minutes here. Phil, I'm going to grab the reins here real quick and just do a quick housekeeping item. In our excitement in our first hour with the food bank and with the Salvation Army, I forgot to play their videos. So I want to just get those on the air, and then we will actually come back in a few minutes. We've got Tesla and Shannon Rainbow Road Center coming up here. I can actually show them here on the screen. So you'll see them coming up there in a few minutes. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Hit that like button. Make sure you share this out. And this video will continue until 10 a.m. Then we'll start a new stream at 10 a.m. We'll get all the audio fixed too, I promise. And we'll be back with a whole bunch of awesome nonprofits throughout the day. So let me just get that video up here. I kept Tesla and Shannon on the screen there. They were like, all right, we did our wave. We're ready to go. So let's just play these quick videos. Then I'm going to turn the music back on, and we'll see you back at the top of the hour.
The coronavirus made us a family that needs help.
It felt really good to find people out there that will help you.
When there's no money coming in, and we don't have money, and we need this or we need that, and it seems like a miracle happens. The food bank to me means that I know that there'll be food for my kids no matter what.
Welcome to the Salvation Army of York. We are so excited to participate in this year's Give Local York campaign on Friday, May 7th. The York community continues to be incredibly kind and generous to the Salvation Army and the work we do. We know that last year has been challenging for so many, including the children in our community. Although at a reduced capacity, we are excited to host summer day camp called Heroes of Faith for the children of York County. Please consider making a donation during this year's Give Local York event. Be a hero to a kid this summer.
It sounded good. Looked all right.
It looks beautiful, yeah. And I'll keep it too.
Chris. Where's that wind? All right, everybody, welcome back. It is just after 9 o'clock, 9:01 a.m., and we are at an unbelievable $658,000 raised for 292 organizations. The clapping sound effect. 292 organizations, 4,000 individual gifts from 2,597 donors. You guys are amazing. York County is amazing. The 9 o'clock hour, we've got a lot of really fun guests coming up. So I do real quick want to highlight everybody that we'll be talking to. But before we do that, I want to talk about a very important part of Give Local that it is important that we continue to remember, and that is our wonderful community of sponsors that make this event happen. So at near the top of the list of that is PeoplesBank. Right behind me, now it's very sunny right now, so you can't see it, but we've got this beautiful shot of PeoplesBank Park here in downtown York, and we are very thankful for our sponsor, PeoplesBank. And today we have Craig from PeoplesBank. How are you, Craig?
Doing great. Good morning.
So all morning, and it is only 9, but we've been at this since midnight. We've been talking about
just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking about the impact, not just of the event itself, not just about the individual organizations, but about the impact that this has on the community as a whole. So thank you to PeoplesBank, but I really want to hear from you. Why is it important that PeoplesBank supports an organization and an event like Give Local York?
Well, we are completely excited about Give Local York, the effort. I mean, it's an amazing journey. You think about this, we started, 3 years ago?
Yep.
And, over $3 million. We're going to go past that today. I'm confident about that. And so it's been a great journey for our community, for all the people that benefit from this effort. And the benefit runs the spectrum. It benefits the people that are the organizations that are receiving the money and the contributions and the impact they make on the community, but it also benefits the people that donate and contribute to have a hand in that. And at People's Bank, one of our missions is to be community builders. And we believe firmly in living for other people and making an impact in the lives of other people. And as a community builder, our engagement in the Give Local York program, as well as other efforts that we have throughout the year, is a priority for our company. And that's what we do, and that's part of our mission. And so being involved in something like this is just a natural extension of what we believe in and what we do.
Well, we truly appreciate it. We appreciate your support. All of our wonderful sponsors that come on, they just want to talk about Give Local, which I appreciate. But for those that are sitting at home, talk a little bit about People's Bank and the footprint that you guys have in our community, which is substantial.
Well, we're excited to be, York's our home. We're the largest independent financial company headquartered in York. York is predominantly our marketed business, but we also have gone down to Central Maryland and to have offices in Baltimore now. So we're kind of the 83 corridor, growing rapidly in Lancaster and the Harrisburg markets. We believe strongly in the community bank model and what the community bank has to offer, one of which is reinvesting in our community to make our communities a better place to live, to work, to prosper. And so we're excited about our company, and we continue to grow.
Excellent. And of course, you have beautiful People's Bank Park. You've got your name right on the top there.
And we'll soon be out there playing ball, I understand. That's great.
May 28th, I think, is the first game, right?
Looking forward.
Yeah. So why is it important, too, for People's Bank to support an organization like the York Revolution and be threaded through the community here as well?
Well, making a difference in our community. I mean, the Revs bring a lot of value to our community, not only in the sport of baseball, the pastime of baseball, but all the things that the park is used for throughout the year to make our community a better place to live. We're excited to be part of it.
Craig, thank you so much. Really, your support means the world to us. And even if those in York don't necessarily feel the direct support of People's Bank, it is there today. And without you, truly, we wouldn't be able to make this happen. So thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
What's that? Oh, yeah, the video. I completely forgot. Craig, you let me forget the video. That's all right. So we've got, even though you already know everything you need to know about People's Bank, let's watch this video.
Life is a series of moments, decisions, and dreams for the future. At People's Bank, we understand financial decisions touch nearly every one of those moments, and we're here to help people face that reality with optimism, to make the best decisions for their families, to create actionable business plans, to prepare for retirement on their terms, to move forward with vacations, renovations, and charitable donations without letting fear hold them back, to achieve their dreams, to live confidently. All of our clients receive the personal, proactive attention one could never get from a mega bank. Our integrated team of experienced financial mentors guide, not prescribe. They help discover the best financial solutions for all aspects of life. We strive to earn the honor of creating lifetime clients by offering a refreshing and distinct experience, something we've been perfecting since 1864. And while our unwavering commitment to service community builders remains unchanged, one big thing has changed. We have a brand new look. We're People's Bank, centered around our clients and our communities, surrounding and supporting them, and helping them move forward to achieve their dreams. We're ready to embrace tomorrow together.
Craig, thank you so much again for your time. Thank you for the support of People's Bank. And on behalf of all of the nonprofits, some of whom are with us in this very room, thank you for your support and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. All right. So for our 9 o'clock hour, we've got a few really special nonprofit guests, including the York County Bauer Foundation, the Rainbow Rose Center, York County Rail Trail Authority. But first, we have some amazing students with the York Suburban Education Foundation. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yay! All right. Well, I got to say, I very distinctly remember this from last year, and I knew nothing about the York Suburban Education Foundation and was totally blown away. So I don't mean to set the bar for you guys high already, but it's there. So where are you guys this morning?
Well, let me show you. We are in the YSEF Impact Foundation pantry.
So where is this located?
Luther Memorial Church.
Excellent.
My name is Elizabeth Alvarcio. I'm joining at Luther Memorial Church. I'm a senior, so I'm involved in Impact Foundation for the past 4 years. And with me this morning, I am Impact Foundation student president. Good morning. I'm Leona Strine. As a Luther son, and the president of next year's Impact Foundation. I'm the current vice president of this year's group. I've been involved with Impact Foundation for the last 2 years.
Excellent. So how many people do you guys serve at your facility?
Ultimately, our mission for the Impact Foundation is students helping students. So here, students and their families. When it comes to pantry statistics, the last time you saw us last year, we pulled our stats from June of 2020, which was about a month after Give Local York. We served 28, 61 adults, and 60 children. And then just last month alone, we served 8 families. And last year, yesterday. And from that, we have served overall 901 families, 1,903 children, adults, and 2,267 children.
So what do you distribute each week to your pantry customers?
So here's an example of a mock order form. We distribute different food items and toiletries. So each week our customers can go online and fill out for that week. And with that, we are very flexible. We also have an option for people who don't have access to the internet. We have a student volunteer who will call and will get their order information. For example, we have a grandmother who is taking care of her 5th grader, and we have a student volunteer each week and
Excellent. And then, so how do you receive the items, all the foods and the products behind you? How do you receive those items to stock those shelves?
So when it comes to household items and personal care items, either in whether it's doing collections in neighborhoods or coming here based off our requests that we post online. We also take cash donations. We keep the shelf stocked right here. We also received a $1,000 grant from a William Warren Foundation, and money has gone to household items.
Awesome. So we're gonna pause for 1 second. Chris, can I get a woo?
Oh yeah.
We just crossed $700,000 raised for Give Local York 2021. So back to our friends. There we go. Perfect. So in addition to your agency partners, what other support do you guys receive from the York community?
We have some other agency partners. Elizabeth and Leon will tell you about them. I'm sorry.
So many of our and then we also partner with the York County Food Bank, who provides shelf-stable items for frozen items. Is what they do us every week. I'm just so grateful for their to keep this fridge here stocked every single week.
Awesome. This is really, really incredible. Did you just say, is that refrigerator new from last year?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
I was going to say, I don't remember.
Tell you about our community partners, and then we'll share about how we got the fridge.
Okay, let's do it.
The Sprout of Hope has given us produce from their fresh garden. Here, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. to build a garden here at Luther Memorial Church, and Iron Valley Real Estate is starting a garden with Sprout of Hope, which will be across from Yorkshire Elementary School.
All right. So real quick, Chris, let's throw to their video, and then we're going to come right back to you guys. And I want to know about your future plans and how important Give Local York is to you. But first, I think we have a video, right, Chris? Coming right up here.
We had to keep going. We had to adjust. We had to retool. There was no question that we'd figure it out. We have the most amazing team, and all of the students are the gigantic add-on that made it all happen. We went through many variants and stages to get it done, but at the end of the day, we moved from feeding children once a week to giving whole families boxes. We kept going, and we're still going.
Awesome. So please, we've got a few seconds left here. Tell us about your future plans and why Give Local York is so important to you guys.
So our future plans that we received a grant from the Department of Environmental Protection, which got us a sprint. That grant was written by Impact Foundation students, just to let you guys know, which is absolutely amazing. We still have extra funds from that grant, so we're actually planning on buying 2 more refrigeration and freezer units in here.
You said 2 more?
Yes.
2
Wow,
more
awesome.
regular size, yes.
This is our current Impact Foundation president, Janelle Rice. Janelle and I are both seniors this year, so we will unfortunately be leaving behind this incredible organization, but I can't wait to come back and see what the future has to hold for Impact Foundation. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for everyone who has donated today, and thank you for having us on this live stream.
Please be sure to check out your campaign.
And also feel free to check out our website at yscf.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. You truly are amazing, amazingly talented and dedicated young people. So thank you. And to those of you sitting at home, givelocalyork.org, search for York Suburban Education Foundation, and help these young folks really help their student population and help our community. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys, so we are at 9:15 a.m., 2,822 donors, 4,570 gifts, $720,000 to 292 organizations. One of those organizations is the York County Bar Foundation, headed up by Victoria Connor, CEO, also joined today by Veronica. Now, Victoria, I have to ask, you are kitted out today, fully kitted out. Can you tell me a little bit about who all you are representing here?
I am going for broke with the swag. So I'm a member of the York St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. We're coming back March 12, 2022. They're a member. I am also on the committee for Pink Power York, which is to raise funds and awareness for breast cancer causes and patients in need in our community. I'm a member of the White Rose Leadership Institute, which is the, of course, backers of this organization. I'm a former Red Cross employee, and I'm donating blood today at noon, so really giving local York. And today I'm here to talk about the York County Bar Foundation. So I'm going to take off my mask, and I have my lovely guest with me, Veronica Hernandez. This was just fate. Veronica is the goddaughter and niece of our former judge, Chuck Patterson. Wow. Who the internship is named after. So we're so delighted to have you here, Veronica, to share the story.
Yeah.
So what do you want to know, everyone? What do you want to know, York County? Why should you support the York County Bar Foundation's Chuck Patterson Diversity Internship Program?
Yeah, so I think even taking a step back, because I am familiar with the York County Bar Foundation. I think that there obviously are many that are familiar, but to those that are not, can you just give a kind of a high-level overview of your organization?
Absolutely. So we're the community's largest private funder of law-related programs, things that help people in need, like therapy dogs to calm children and veterans when they're in court proceedings, connecting people to the wellness courts to help them get the treatment that they need within the community to help keep them out of jail. So programs that help stabilize lives, connect people, make them productive citizens, and also help to save taxpayer dollars, because when people are incarcerated, we know that no jail cell has ever cured someone of addiction or mental health. And we really want to to connect people with the resources they need. And that's the type of funding that we do.
So tell me about the Honorable Clarence Chuck N. Patterson Diversity Internship Scholarship Program. And then Veronica, tell us about why it's so important to you as well.
All right, so the Chuck Patterson Diversity Internship Scholarship was started 2007, a long time ago, where we wanted to change the trajectory of students and get more diverse students into practicing law here in New York County. You know, nationwide, only 5.6% of lawyers are any type of diversity. And here in New York, we only have 2%. So what we're trying to do is get more young people started in the career of law, diverse people, and get them to practice here in New York. So we've been doing this for a long time, and we've recently increased our number of positions to 2. So today we're trying to raise funds to help cover those internships. $10,000 is our goal. And when Veronica and I were coming in, what you don't know about her is she's an aspiring law school student. And she said, only 2? Because she and her husband both would like to have those internships. And the internships are awesome. You get, if you're a student, a second-year student, you get a paid internship to work in either the public defender's office or the district attorney's office. And because you're a second-year student, you can become certified. And that means you can actually go into the courtroom and do certain things under the supervision of a full-fledged attorney. So it's really exciting, but the whole goal is to really affect positive change and start changing the look of the legal profession and making it look more like our community. And I have to say that our dear Chuck Patterson, who sadly passed away in 2011, was the only African-American judge that we've had in the York County court system in over 270 years. That's a long time. So it's time for change, and we've been working on it for a long time. And now I would love Veronica to talk a little bit about her Uncle Chuck.
Yeah, please talk about your Uncle Chuck and about why this is important to you too.
Well, this is very important to me because my uncle has done so many triumphant things for this city. Besides that, he was more than just a judge. He was a person, he was humane, and he really cared about the community, and he wanted to bring up the community, pull them out of crime and try to do things to help them to see that, you know, the world is not all black and white. There's color, it's beautiful. There's so much you could do with yourself. You don't have to resort to crime. And that was his motto, and he really felt strongly about that. And besides that, he was a great person. He loved to sing, he loved to dance, and his voice was amazing. And anyone who met him loved him automatically. So I think it's very important to me, mostly because I want to see his legacy continue on through the youth and the children that really don't have any idea of the chances that are available to them.
So Chris, I know we have, I think we have a York County Bar Foundation video, correct? So if you're sitting at home, go to givelocalyork.org, search for, you can search for York County Bar Foundation. You can just search for bar in the search bar and it comes up. There's a great video on Chuck Patterson on there. And then of course you can support the campaign. Chris, we've got the video. All right.
Who was Chuck Patterson?
I am Chuck Patterson.
I am Chuck Patterson.
I'm Chuck Patterson.
I'm Chuck Patterson.
Wait, what? How can you all be Chuck Patterson?
Because when Clarence Chuck Patterson joined the York County legal community, he touched us all.
Chuck was my friend, and he was also the first person of color to be elected to the York County Court of Common Pleas.
When somebody breaks down a barrier, we all become a little better.
Judge Patterson led by example. He was a mentor, and he cared about his community.
And he was a fine judge, but more than that, he broadened the perspective of our judiciary in York County.
Judge Patterson made our local judicial system look a little bit more like our community. That builds faith and trust and equity.
Judge Patterson was with us for far too short a time, but his memory and legacy lives on in the York County Bar Foundation's Clarence Chuck N. Patterson Diversity Internship Scholarship Program, which provides opportunities for people of diversity in the legal profession right here in York County.
When you go online to participate in Give Local York on May 1st, remember that the York County Bar Foundation is committed to encouraging careers and promoting equity, inclusion, and diversity in the legal profession.
And remember, to Give Local York.
Awesome. Well, that video pretty much said it all, I think. So, again, if you're sitting at home, this is York County Bar Foundation. Excellent video. Victoria, any parting words, or Veronica, any parting words?
I'll just say thank you all for putting this on. Thank you to Bob Pulo, Megan, the team. And no matter what cause you care about, there's always an opportunity to give. There's over 300 opportunities today. So please give generously, and thank you all.
Well, and Victoria, not to put you on the spot, but I'm running a little bit ahead of schedule. Can you talk about a little bit about?
More time? Absolutely.
Yeah, no. Can you talk a little bit about how one thing that always fascinates me about Give Local, and I was talking to Craig and I talked to Jessica from Giant a little bit about it, is, you know, if you grab any random person off the street, they may be able to name 10, 15 nonprofits. We have 300 participating in this event today. How important to a smaller nonprofit is it? The dollars are important. The dollars are obviously the biggest part of the day, but how important is the exposure and getting this platform on Give Local York?
It's incredibly important. Give Local York provides such an opportunity for nonprofits to raise awareness and funds for their mission. And that's what it's all about, because the nonprofit community is York's safety net. Having worked with the largest humanitarian organization in the world, I know all of the organizations, or many of the organizations that exist. And in my work now, we are connecting the community, again, people in the justice system, to these community resources. And that's what it's all about. And more, we're doing more and more of that. And you've heard from Melanie this morning with LifePath, how it's the community together that provide resources to the individual clients. No one organization can take care of all the needs of a client, but working together, we can do so much more. And that's the beauty of Give Local York. It's all about making our community stronger and safer, and it's just a wonderful thing. And I'm so proud to be not only behind the scenes part of it, but to be a supporter and to be a member agency that can also benefit from it. So I thank everyone and all of our generous sponsors for helping to make this happen, because without them, it couldn't happen. And in this pandemic, we know that any gift you can make is going to go a long way. So $5 minimum, you got to go for it. And I'm going to spread the love. I started at midnight, of course, with my own and then with Pink Power, but I'm going on from there today.
Yep.
I'll be doing more. And at noon, I'll be donating blood at the Elks for the CGA blood drive. So, you know, you can still figure out if there's appointments there. There's so many things that you can do that don't cost money. Yep. So please join us in Giving Local York, and thank you for this opportunity. Veronica, what do you want to say?
I want to say something. I am a perfect representation of what change can do. My goodness, I drove my parents insane. I was that kid that just didn't want to follow rules, and I just started, wanting to go down the wrong path. And my uncle, Chuck Patterson, he really helped me a lot, and he would mentor me, and he would pull me in his office, just talk to me, take me out to eat, and it was more than just an uncle and a godfather. He was a mentor. So it really meant a lot to me, and him veering me away from that really saved me a lot from getting into a lot of trouble. And that's why the scholarship is really important, because there's kids that just don't know that it's there, and I feel like there's so much potential that just needs an opportunity. That's all. Or someone to mentor them.
I'll tell you right now, we were in the time we were sitting here, you got a additional 2 donors, it looks like. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Chris, we'll have to, that little section of Victoria stealing my job and being awesome and summarizing Give Local York, we should just cut that as a clip and just roll that for the rest of the day.
You have my permission. I'm here.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll do a quick recap here. Up next, we have the Rainbow Rose Center coming up in just a second. So we are at 9:27. Chris, I'm hearing myself. 9:27, 780,000. Look at that. 4,927 gifts to 294 organizations. Just over 3,000 donors. Before I bring in our friends at the Rainbow Rose Center, Victoria brought up a really good point. I want everybody that has given generously so far. We've got 294 organizations funded. Find an organization that still needs funding. Throw $5, throw $10, throw $25 their way. That's what makes Give Local York special. Find a new organization to be passionate about. Find a new organization that maybe you've never heard of. One of those organizations, Chris, is going to be the Rainbow Rose Center. I think I'm hearing myself from that mic, possibly. All right. So from the Rainbow Rose Center, we have Tesla and Shannon. Tesla, you're the president. Shannon, you are the program's committee chair.
That is correct. So, hi, everyone. Hi, York County.
We're so excited to be here.
Before we get started, you guys joined the call. Chris, I'm still hearing myself. It's like a speech jammer. Before you guys joined the call, I could hear the birds in the background from wherever you are. I heard it in my headphones. I was like, where are these birds coming from? This is amazing. So tell everybody that's out there a little bit about the Rainbow Rose Center. I know we have a video that we'll show as well, but let's get to know you guys first.
Awesome.
Okay. So my name's Tesla Taliaferro. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the president of the Rainbow Rose Center.
And I'm Shannon McElroy. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the programs committee chair.
And so the Rainbow Rose Center serves York County's LGBTQI plus community, and we're here to foster an environment of equity, inclusion, and health, where all of the LGBTQI individuals can thrive here in York County, Pennsylvania.
We are super excited. This is our first Give Local York, and we are about a quarter of the way to our goal. So we're really excited. We have a lot of programs that we offer. Right now, we are starting a queer and transgender persons of color support group that we are really excited to be starting. The first meeting is actually tomorrow, or no, Sunday. We also have several other support groups that we're working on. In the near future, we're going to have a Living with HIV support group and a young adult support group. And we also currently are working with LGBTQIA youth to do tobacco cessation and education.
And we also have our transgender support group meetings that have been running since November of 2019 in partnership with Trans Central PA.
So that's a little bit about us at Rainbow Rose Center. We are serving approximately 2,500 individuals across York County right now, and we'd love to serve more. So we're just excited to be here today.
Awesome. So we have, we'll show your video real quick, and then I want to talk a little bit more about your organization.
Great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm your friend. I'm your coworker. I'm your neighbor.
I am your family.
I am more likely to face social isolation.
I could be fired from my job because of who I am.
I can be evicted for who I love.
We are an important part of the York community.
Awesome. So this being your first Give Local York, how important, Victoria and I were just talking about not only the financial impact, which I do see you guys are killing it so far, $2,345 raised. Congratulations. For $25, if you're sitting at home, you can become a Rainbow Rose ally. So in addition to obviously the financial impact, what does the exposure and raising the profile of Rainbow Rose Center mean for you?
We are really just trying to reach all of the LGBT community and our allies. We want you to know that we are here, that we are trying to do better for our community, and really just expand what we're doing. Meet with you, figure out what your needs are, and meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
So if people, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say our goal really is to create a inclusive environment where all York County's LGBTQIA individuals feel safe and welcome in their everyday lives. So we help connect people with the resources that they need, as well as working with those resources to have a better understanding of the community and how best to serve them.
Well, we certainly appreciate you being advocates for $10, friend of the Rainbow Rose Center, $25, ally of the Rainbow Rose Center, $50, an advocate of the Rainbow Rose Center, $100, a champion of the Rainbow Rose Center. Do we have a special guest coming, Chris? Is that what's happening?
That's what appears to be happening.
Oh my gosh, it's Courtney Lewis.
Courtney Lewis! Hi, Shannon! I just wanted to say hi and thank you for all that you're doing for the Rainbow Rose Center of York. It's tremendously important work, and I'm so grateful that you're doing it.
Well, Courtney, you can't escape. You have to tell us, why is it tremendous work? Why is it tremendously important?
The LGBTQI community needs support, and they need to know that they have resources and a place to go where they can feel at home and a place that's safe for them. And, that's really hard to come by in a lot of places. And the work that Rainbow Rose does in the York community is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be able to support you today. And I know you're going to crush that goal.
Now,
Thank you, Courtney.
Before you go and before Shannon and Tesla, Chris, can you show Courtney how to initiate a woo? Because
Did you press the woo button?
Press the woo button.
What's the woo button?
So we have crossed the $800,000 threshold, and we have a woo button. Press that woo button.
Press A.
Woo! Woo!
All right, so $800,000 raised for 294 organizations, including the Rainbow Rose Center, which I just refreshed, Shannon and Tesla, an additional donor as we were sitting here talking. You guys are up to $2,470. Congratulations. Before I let you go and you go back to whatever birded paradise you are currently in, any parting words, and where can people find out more information about the Rainbow Rose Center?
Yeah, so we're really excited. This year we are doing our first ever York County Pride on June 5th. That'll be a virtual event, but we will have live locations streaming it, including at the Capitol Theater, downtown York. And we have some other events coming up during Pride Month, including Pride at the Ballpark at PeoplesBank Park, thanks to the York Revs. Yep. And you can find out more about us on Facebook and on our website, rainbowrosecenter.org. Feel free to reach out to us at any time should you ever need anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the truly important and impactful work that you do, and best of luck with the rest of Give Local.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Have a great day.
All right, Chris. So just a quick update before we bring in our friends at the York County Rail Trail Authority. $820,000 raised, 5,000 gifts from 3,000 donors to 294 organizations. One of those organizations is an organization that for many York Counties sort of lives under the surface. The York County Rail Trail is an amazing resource, and the York County Rail Trail Authority.
What a segue. 2.5 hours into the live stream. This guy is a pro.
The York County, I'm going to take my headphones off. York County Rail Trail Authority. We have Gwyneth and Frank with us today. How are you? So for those that may not be familiar with the Rail Trail Authority, but they probably are familiar with the Rail Trail, can you tell us a little bit about your organization and the impact you have?
Okay, I'll start. Director of the York County Authority. I can say we're very proud to be under the radar. We would like our projects to shine all across York County. We create what we think are the happy places in York County, and I think our visitors to the Heritage Rail Trail and the Valley Trail would say it's the happiest place in York County. Our organization develops those trails from the concept, the very basic concept, lots of meetings, lots of strategizing, lots of fundraising, such as Give Local York, and then we get the engineering done, we get the design finished, we bid the project out, and finally we get it built for the citizens of York County.
Now we are, from where I am sitting, I can see the rail trail. So I live in downtown York, about 4 blocks from here. My kids and I are on the rail trail almost every day. My daughter is responsible for PeoplesBank Park, the new dog park that is just off the rail trail. So, Frank, can you talk to us a little bit about the newest section of the rail trail and the impact that has had so far on the trail itself?
Sure. The newest section is from almost where we are now, and as you said, we can actually see a portion of the trail. I just saw a biker go by a minute ago. It goes up to John Rudy Park. That's what we call the northern extension. That's the newest completed portion. But in the Hanover area, between Hanover and Spring Grove, and then actually east of Spring Grove, we have something called the Hanover Trolley Trail that's under development now. And we're really excited because we just recently, within the last few months, closed buying 8.5 miles of dormant rail line. Perfect location, beautiful corridor along a creek. Just couldn't have been a nicer place to walk and bike. And also, you mentioned you and your family enjoy the rail trail. Well, just to put some numbers to it, the last survey we did of rail trail users was about 2 years ago, before the pandemic. There was about 250,000 people, visitors to the rail trail. Over the last year, using that same counters, we saw an increase of 250%, meaning there's over 500,000 visitors to the rail trail each year. And the demographics go all across the board, from the youngest to the oldest. You know, people with strollers, elderly people such as myself, runners, joggers, even some sections there's some horses on it. So it's well used by the community and a tremendous asset.
Well, and I think that all morning we've had an ongoing discussion, obviously, about the impact of the pandemic, and I think that one of the, as you highlighted, the small gems to come out of it is that maybe people have spent more time outside, and I think that we will see that absolutely continue. Chris, do we have a rail trail video? All right, we will kick to that. $829,000 raised so far. So we'll watch this rail trail video and then come right back to our friends Gwen and Frank.
York County Rail Trail Authority has announced the signing of an agreement with Genesee and Wyoming and York Railway Company to purchase 8.5 miles of dormant rail line east and west of Spring Grove, PA. The purchase is in 2 sections. The first from Gitz Run Road in Heidelberg Township to just west of Pixel, formerly Gladfelter Paper entrance at Bunch Creek. And the second is from Main Street, Route 116 in Spring Grove to Stoverstown Road in West Manchester Township. The purchase includes the property, which varies in width from 30 to 65 feet, as well as the rails, ties, bridges, signs and signals, and other track materials. The rail corridor offers scenic views along Oil Creek and Cadorus Creek and a level terrain ideal for further development of the Hanover Trolley Trail. 2 sections of the Hanover Trolley Trail are already complete and being used by the public. One section is near Hanover and the other section is near Spring Grove. Each were built within the Met-Ed Electric Utility Corridor. Transitions will be designed to connect these completed sections with the rail corridor. The rail purchase is made possible through a grant from the PA Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. The state grant requires dollar-for-dollar matching funds, which were provided by First Energy Foundation, the Wareheim Foundation, York County Community Foundation, and private donations. The Rail Trail Authority is now seeking state and local grants as well as private donations to engineer 3 sections of the rail corridor beginning in 2021. The York County Rail Trail has applied for grants to begin development of the Hanover Trolley Trail sections which are being acquired in the G&W purchase. Most grants require a local match dollar for dollar before the grant money will be authorized. The Hanover Trolley Trail connects communities such as Hanover, Spring Grove, and Bear that were once connected by trolley or train service. The trail provides recreational opportunities for all residents and creates economic opportunities for businesses to provide services, food, and other amenities. For more information or to make a donation, contact York County Rail Trail Authority at 717-428-0999 or info@yorkcountytrails.org. You can also visit our...
All right, just before just before 10 a.m. and it looks like you guys have about $4,000. That's awesome. $4,000 raised, 47 donors. I see $50 provides one section of fencing to protect visitors from steep banks. $100 provides roofing materials for one picnic table. So what is next for the Rail Trail Authority, and what else should people be looking out for?
Well, our next step, as I said, is our primary focus is going to be the Hanover Trolley Trail and development of that tremendously valuable and beautiful corridor. One of the things I'd like to point out is that we have one employee. The York County Rail Trail Authority has one employee. It's a volunteer organization. So as you can imagine, our administrative costs are very, very low. The money that we raise, and most grants, we need 50% local match to build trail. The administrative costs are very, very low, way less than 10%. I don't have that exact figure. But the other thing too is the trails that we're building, like that trail out there, that's going to be here long after I'm gone from this earth, and most of us are gone from this earth. It's a long, long-term investment in the future of York County and a tremendous asset that obviously many, many people use on a daily or weekly basis.
Gwen, any parting words?
I get great joy in telling people it's Friday. It's Give Local York. It's a beautiful day out there. Everybody has my permission to go outdoors, get on the Heritage Rail Trail or the Hanover Trolley Trail. Think about how you can give to Give Local York. Visit our website, give to the York County Rail Trail Authority, and give to the community of York. Thank you.
So givelocalyork.org, search for Rail Trail. It comes right up. What is your website?
www.yorkcountytrails.org.
yorkcountytrails.org. And then before I let you guys go, this is a question of that we talk about a lot. So you have to tell me your favorite stretch of the rail trail. What is the part that you most look forward to being on, that you like, biking, walking, whatever it is?
I have to enjoy the part that's right outside my office, which is in Hanover Junction train station, between there and Howard Tunnel. Absolutely gorgeous.
Frank? You can't say Howard Tunnel, she just said it.
Well, I would also, before she said it, from Howard Tunnel south is beautiful. Farms in there, creeks. It's just a very nice and somewhat little bit of an isolated section, but it's very, very pretty.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do throughout the year and for helping to provide such an amazing asset for the County of York.
Happy to do it.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Philip, I love that closing question. I feel like we should ask that question to everyone who comes in.
What's your favorite part of the rail trail?
Exactly. Because I think they're right. Everyone can appreciate the beauty that's out there. Certainly we've got the doors open. We are inside today mostly because we're planning for the rain that is thankfully held off. But you're right. We'll certainly be exploring the space a little bit more this afternoon as it warms up a little bit as well. But thank you guys for what you do and for hanging out. I know this has been a long hour, but very grateful for your time.
$852,000 raised, 5,359 gifts to 296 organizations from 3,319 donors. We have 14 hours left in Give Local York 2021. Chris, the Giving Day guy.
Oh, we got it.
I had been saying the Give Day guy all day. You guys are good too. You can pass through. That's fine. Chris, you are from Greenville, South Carolina, sir, and you are in York, Pennsylvania for Give Local York 2021. How's it going?
I think it's going great. I mean, let's just talk about that moment this hour from the Rainbow Rose Center. I mean, and again, I don't know these people like you do, but can you just sort of explain kind of what we saw there?
Yeah, I mean, I think one avenue that I've been trying to push all day are the organizations that it's either their first year or they're a smaller nonprofit that really needs the exposure, the support from all of our Give Local York donors. The Rainbow Rose Center in particular is an organization that serves a population in our community that is underserved. Without the Rainbow Rose Center's existence, there are LGBTQIA individuals in our community that will not get much needed assistance or frankly don't have a resource to go to. So Rainbow Rose Center, truly, truly excellent resource. Same with York County Bar Foundation. We learned about the Clarence Patterson Diversity Internship Scholarship. We met Veronica, truly, truly awesome. And to hear her speak about
what a special moment that was, really. I mean, I was behind the scenes capturing that on my Instagram story too, because we just can't tell that story enough, and, I think all things considered, Philip, and we'll talk about things here once we turn the cameras off as well. But this has been a pretty awesome first stream here this morning, I think. We've had some incredible guests. We had Craig, the CEO here of PeoplesBank, and just very grateful to him for taking the time to come in and do that as we sit in this beautiful stadium here today. Obviously, we've got a wonderful space here in the 1741 Club. So it's just here. I'll even show you because I can press all the buttons. This is kind of where we are. There you can see Philip on he's got all the fancy cameras over there, and I've got the white wall behind me here on the production side. So,
and then we've got our buddies over there. Hey, Drew, can you hear me? Wave. See, we've got our buddies from Fox 43 over there. They've been going live all morning. They were here since 5 a.m. highlighting Give Local York. And as we all head towards $900,000 raised for 296 organizations, we are heading into the 10 o'clock hour. In the 10 o'clock hour, we've got a lot of good stuff coming up. We've got Powder Mill Foundation. We will hear from Penmar Human Services, Communities and School of PA, Sparrow Place. We've got a lot to cover for the next several hours, Chris.
We've got so much going on. I think, Philip, we're going to take advantage of the few minutes that we have here to catch our breath. And we're going to dive right back in here at 10 a.m. So here's what's going to happen. If you're watching at home, this stream is going to end. And then in a couple minutes, I'm going to start a new stream. It's our late morning stream. You can find it on YouTube and Facebook, of course. So make sure you jump over there if you've been watching all the way through. We also want to make sure you can let us know in the comments what you've loved seeing, who have you donated to. Philip's already told a few stories of, finding new nonprofits. We want to know who you're donating to as well. So jump on Facebook there. We know you're watching. Let us know. Hit that heart button. I mean, it's Give Local York Day. You can do better than a like. We want the love.
Smash that heart button.
So, Philip, I'm going to play a little music and play us off here. And we've got a whole lot more to come. So we'll be back at 10 a.m. with many more special guests. Maybe we'll find Megan at some point today, too.
Maybe. We'll see.
So thanks for watching. Mic's off, music on, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Michael. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming down. So as you just heard me explain, we're going to